Hey everybody, it is Nathan Selove testing out a new intro and a new type of video, so let me know what you think about both. The traits and characteristics that classify autism have broadened over the past few decades. People that used to be considered Aspergian or even just people who have quirky personalities are now under the blanket term of autism spectrum disorder. Now, there are many historical figures that if they were around today, they would probably be classified as autistic, but because that classification didn't exist during their time, there's no way of officially diagnosing them. Because of this, all psychologists can do is speculate about historical figures based on the recorded aspects of their character and their traits. So today's video, and possibly a new series on my channel, 4 historical figures who were probably autistic. Now, before I get started, I'd just like to point out keyword might. There's no way of knowing whether or not these people were definitely or definitely not autistic, but these are people that have been speculated as being autistic, and I will leave links in the description for sources. The first person on our list is Thomas Jefferson, good old TJ, founding father, 3rd president of the United States, and writer of the Declaration of Independence. Thomas Jefferson had very strict routines, he was uncomfortable public speaking, and he had sensory processing issues when it came to loud noises. He also apparently went to cabinet meetings wearing slippers, and he also had a mockingbird on his shoulder that he apparently took everywhere with him. Don't kill it, because I hear that's a sin. Also, the guy wrote the Declaration of Independence by obsessing about it and hyper-focusing on it for days. A document like that, you gotta be an autistic to focus on something like that for days. One important mark to bring up on Jefferson's record is the fact that he owned slaves. No buts about it, that's not okay. Don't own people. The reason why I'm pointing this out is because although autistics are often thought of as impervious to societal standards and societal morality, we're not. We can sometimes find ourselves benefiting from things that society deems moral but are objectively wrong. Up next, we have Barbara McClintock, famous chromosome scientists who made a lot of breakthroughs in that area by studying corn, and the first woman to win an unshared Nobel Prize. She was well known for her ability to hyper-focus on her work for extremely long periods of time, and she was notorious for hating being the center of attention. In fact, she almost didn't accept her Nobel Prize because that meant that she would have to be around people and in front of people. Plus, I mean, she dedicated her life to studying corn. I mean, you gotta be an autistic to have that level of dedication to corn. Too bad she didn't live in Iowa. Up next on our list, and probably one of the most obvious ones, Albert Einstein. A man who needs no introduction. Albert Einstein did so much for science, his name is literally synonymous with genius. As a kid, Einstein had a very slow social development, and even as an adult, he found himself having a lot of trouble in public settings. Einstein also had trouble with crowds and loud noises. He was well known for repeating sentences back to himself over and over again, but perhaps one of the most telling signs, which is a bit of a theme on this list, was his ability to immerse himself and hyper-focus on his work. I mean, the guy created the theory of relativity. He predicted a 5th state of matter. You might be autistic if. And we will end this list with the greatest philosopher of all time and one of my all-time favorite historical figures, Socrates. Socrates was known for not caring much about his physical appearance, having trouble expressing empathy, and pissing off just about everybody he came across by asking them questions. Lots of questions. Over and over again. He had a strong belief that true wisdom came not from knowing a lot of things, but from knowing what you don't know. And if you pretend to know something that you don't know, then that is true ignorance. And he made sure to spread that to pretty much everybody he met, which pissed a lot of people off. In the end, he was sentenced to be executed, basically for making people feel bad about themselves by questioning their intellect. He could have easily escaped from prison before his execution, but he didn't, and he let himself be executed so that he could prove a point. That takes some autistic dedication. And that is our list. Do you think that these people were autistic? Who's your favorite historical figure that might have been autistic? Leave a comment down below and let me know. Also, let me know if you want to see more of these videos. In the meantime, that's today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you liked this video, give it a like, a share, and if you haven't already, subscribe to my channel, check out some of my other stuff, and I will be back next week.